tricky thing with this one is aroma-wise, I almost tend to pick up almost like more of a berry type note. It's got sweetness on it. You definitely get the sour and the tartness coming out. So no hiding behind that. Once you get that initial whiff, you know, yep, this is a sour ale. So I think if you told me one day I would be drinking a beer that was brewed with apples, ginger, carrots, and beets, I might have said you might be outside your mind. But here we are. I'm going to be checking out this one here, the Pink Vapor Stew. And this is from Ska Brewing out in Colorado. Now, if you did catch the broadcast last week at the time I'm actually airing this, which is November 5th, I actually had Dave Thibodeau on from Ska Brewing, and we talked about the brewery and what they're doing out there in Colorado. This beer here is one of his personal favorites. He actually used those 4 ingredients for one of his breakfast drinks from back in the day. Asked the brewers to come up with a beer idea around it, and that's what they did. So there we have the Pink Vapor Stew, a sour ale that comes in at 5% ABV. A look at the can here, pretty much the same on both sides. Now, on the broadcast I did have this beer on there, but I have 2 cans, so I said the other one I was going to do for a review. So for those of you that didn't see me enjoy that beer, I'm going to go ahead and do that here now and get a little bit more into what I actually pick up from it. I was really pleasantly surprised on the show when we had the beer because those 4 ingredients are not things I would usually eat on a plate, but like coconut, you put it in a beer, and I'm going to give it a try. So I told Dave on the show, I'm like, I wonder if I get my doctor to count this as a vegetable drink. You know, you have to get a certain amount of veggies in a day. How about if I do it in a beer? That would be freaking awesome. But the beer itself has a nice, bright, pinkish tone, more of a dark pinkish, more like a blush type wine, I guess you can say along those lines. Check out the carbonation there as I get it up there. I think you might be able to pick that up. It has a little bit of a chill haze, just pulled this from the cooler a little bit ago. The head itself has the pinkish tones running right through it as well. Aroma-wise, the tricky thing with this one is aroma-wise, I almost tend to pick up almost like more of a berry type note. It's got sweetness on it. You definitely get the sour and the tartness coming out. So no hiding behind that. Once you get that initial whiff, you know, yep, this is a sour ale. Very aromatic, comes out of the glass rather easily as well. It smells pretty good. Typical head-wise, you see the head kind of drop off there now. Came out to be a nice, just about 2 finger. Now you're less than maybe a half, quarter, third of a finger. I guess it all depends on the size of the hand. Taste-wise, you couldn't have told me that I would actually find a beer with those ingredients to be as good as it actually is. On the taste, I get a nice sweetness that comes into play. I do pick up the beets, and I may mention, just like last week, I do get some of the carrot type feel in here as well, with that coming through. The nice sweetness there, a little bit of the sourness. You do pick up the apples. And that nice tinge of the ginger gives it a nice little spice type pinch to the beer. I am a fan of ginger when it comes to cooking as well. Very familiar with that, but also drinking some of the Belgian type beers. We have some of that like clove ginger type thing, especially now getting into the winter beers as well. Ginger becomes more common around the late fall, winter months in some of those winter ales. Overall, leaves a nice, pleasant feel. As I'm sitting here talking, can definitely still pick up the nice duration of the flavor. So it really hangs in there nicely. It's got a light body to it. It's got a refreshing quality to it. For those of you that always wonder if you want to try it sour or not, or you have some where you're wondering if it's overly tart, this one is very much not as overly tart as you would have with some of the other ones. Has a nice light touch to it. You get the tartness, but it really fades into the background rather easily and just goes down very nice on the back end. Crisp and clean. You get that carbonation amped up a little bit so you can feel some of the bubbles there. Taking a big gulp really brings it into the chest where it being a little bit more lively. But delivers Very nice for the sour ale that it is. Very nice. Thank you, Dave, for getting these out to me. Got a couple other ones I'll be sharing with you from the brewery. And thanks to M. Hudo from Radcraft for getting us all taken care of and getting squared away and having Dave come on to the broadcast. If you do have a brewery out there and you're watching and you want to come on and talk about the beers you're putting out, feel free to reach out, shoot me an email there. But a nice one from them to actually check out. This one for me coming in, if I'm going to give it a rating on my own personal scale, very much enjoying it. I'm going to give this one like a 3.8 out of 5. So very nice overall. So if you get a chance, check out Ska Brewing, see what they're actually doing. Pretty cool brewery they got going on. Come back, check out the other videos I do when there are other beers. If there's beers you want me to check out as well, feel free to drop me a comment on what you would like to see me maybe get my hands on if I can. And if you have any comments you want to share about some of the beers, always welcome those conversations as well. Look forward to catching up with you guys on the next video. Until next time, cheers.